Okay, Grace, today we are going to do some nutrition science. Do you know what nutrition is?
The science of our food we eat.
Good job. All the food that we eat is made up of nutrients. Do you know what nutrients are?
Yeah.
Can you give me an example of a nutrient? You did just a second ago.
Vitamins.
Vitamins are an example, but there's three main kind of nutrients that people usually think about. We think about carbohydrates, which are like sugars. We have protein, which is in, what's protein in a lot of? What do we think of?
Apples.
No. Meat. Meat, eggs, things like that is what we think of with protein. Beans too. And the thing we're going to be doing today, what are we going to be talking about today?
We are going to be talking about
Fat.
fat.
That's the nutrient we're going to be talking about today. So we are going to do an experiment to see if there's fat in some of the different foods that we eat. So how are we going to do this, Grace?
We are going to rub foods on some piece of papers that we labeled. It can be any color because we've done this before.
Yeah. So we've got paper here labeled with the different foods, and we're going to rub it on the paper and let it sit overnight, let it totally dry, and then we're going to see the results, and we'll be able to tell from the paper if there's fat in the different foods. So why don't we go ahead and start rubbing. First we have cheese. Next we're going to do green bean.
Let's see if it works. That's a nice rub.
Okay, now we've got your favorite condiment.
Oh, mustard! Yum! I even had it on my hot dog.
The next one is mayonnaise.
You're gonna have to do this one.
Next we have apple.
Apple! Let's rub some apple onto the paper.
Good, be easy to grab like that. Oh, and rub it into the paper.
Oh, I feel a lot of fat coming out of that.
Well, gotta remember we have to wait for it to dry before we know if it's fat or not.
It's probably just juice.
Marshmallow.
I'm gonna do this one, okay?
Yes. Oh, and I forgot one that I didn't write down. Vegetable oil.
That's all, and I'm going to eat the marshmallow now.
You can eat the marshmallow.
Okay.
Was that good? Yeah, it's not a video unless you're sneaking nibbles of something. It's like a requirement.
It is.
Do you remember in class when you guys are reading a book and you make predictions about what you think is going to happen? Do you think the green bean has fat in it?
No, I don't think so.
Do you think the salami has fat?
Yes.
You think the salami does? So we will check back in tomorrow and we are gonna see which of our foods contained fat and which ones didn't.
The next morning.
So now that we have the results from our fat nutrition experiment, how can we tell which foods have fat? What do we have to do?
We have to hold it up to the light.
And when you hold it up to the light, some things you'll be able to see what kind of looks like a wet circle. And those are the foods that have fats in them. So can you
Salsa works.
Yeah, salsa kind of surprises me because I don't think it really had fat. That one's mayonnaise, and we see some there. So what are some of the foods that, point to some of the ones you don't see the circles with? Oh, cranberry juice. No fat in cranberry juice. Let's talk about fat as a nutrient. Is fat good or bad?
Kind of in between.
That's a good way of saying it. It's good, but we don't need a whole lot of it. So it's not good to eat tons and tons of food that have lots and lots of fat, but most foods have at least a little bit of fat in them, and that's okay.